You ruin yourself for this woman and still she left you. You're fun to be around, but you always get friend-zoned. Or you do have sex sometimes, but the girls never stick around long enough. These situations happen to me also. For several years, I got nothing but failures in my dating life. I asked myself, what do women really want? In this video, we're finally uncovering the secrets of what it means to be an attractive man. And if you're one of those who believes he needs to be 6 feet tall, earn 6 figures and have a six-pack, you're gonna be surprised. I'm going to describe 3 essential parts that make a man complete to fulfill the heart and desire of the right women. We're gonna keep this very down to earth and easy to apply, and you will know how to become the ideal man. Even today in 2024, and especially if you think you're ugly or shy. Let's begin. In the previous video, I talked about how important exactly is the physical appearance in the overall attractiveness. We saw that very often there are average or even ugly men who get a lot of women. I also mentioned hypergamy, which means that women only date men who they view superior to them in some ways. Can be looks, money, but also intelligence, social skills, confidence, etc. I mentioned the key component of an attractive man, competence, with the ultimate archetype, James Bond. And the conclusion of the video was that to become an attractive man, you had to focus on 2 habits, courage and discipline. Go watch that video if you want to know more. Today I want to go one step deeper. We're going to take all aspects of the ideal man, not just competence, but also looks, lifestyle, humor, everything. And we're going to put them into 3 categories. We will discuss what is important and what you can ignore. That way you can very easily understand where you're lacking and what you need to focus on. How are we going to do that? Well, let's start by the basics. To understand women, you need to understand humans first, because women are humans. So what do humans want? Humans want safety. They want to remove pain from their life. And once they're safe and painless, they get bored. So they want to break that boredom. That's a very typical feature of humans. We are aware of the time that passes, of the future, and so we want to fill that time. We want to do stuff. Otherwise, we get bored and it's painful. Now, let's see how that human property applies differently in men and women. How do we humans feel safe? We have a job, we have a secure house and a successful community and future. Well, that's certainly the case for men. For women, there is something to add to that. They date men, and they have other men around them that can be a danger to them. Biologically, they are weaker than men, so they are more acute to dangers than we are. This means that on average, a woman will pick her man according to how safe she feels when she is with him. Men don't look at women the same way. We don't expect a woman to protect us, but we do feel like we should protect them. So that difference right there is going to dictate some of the choices women make. For example, they will prefer a man that is strong, but he must also project trustworthiness, meaning he must be dangerous for people that are a threat to her, but not to herself and her friends and family. A police officer is an example of that. Also a military man or an MMA guy that is friendly. Another example is they will prefer a man that has a stable financial situation and if possible a lot of money, because they will feel safer with a man that can pay other people. It's like dating a prince or a lord. Third example on the same page, if the guy is positively famous, that means there's less chances of him being in danger because famous people are loved and protected by tons of other people. So women want someone that can make them feel safe, either physically, financially, or by social status. Whereas men do not care about it because they expect to be able to manage that themselves. And lastly, on the topic of safety, a woman wants a man she can put her trust in, meaning someone that will take care of her, that will provide, and that will stay with her. She wants a man that is going to pour his resources on her and nobody else. She wants to make sure he will never abandon her. But that doesn't mean she will want to have sex with him, right? I'm sure you know some people that provide and give everything to a woman, but still never get laid with her. Maybe that's you. How is this possible? Isn't safety all she wants? No, that's only part of the equation. How are men sexually attracted to women? Almost entirely by her looks. Let's be honest here. A woman can be super annoying and dumb. If the guy is horny and she's hot, it doesn't matter, she will turn him on. Now, he probably won't want to spend much time after sex, but he will be attracted physically. Now, how are women sexually attracted to men? At first, it's also looks, especially when they're young, but there is something more there. They are drawn by two non-physical aspects: confidence and power. To get confidence, you need competence, and that's what I was talking about in my previous video on that topic. You need to know that you've been there before. You know how to act, and worst case, you will be fine. I'm not gonna expand on confidence here. Watch my previous video for that. Now, you could be competent with women, have no hesitation when you flirt with them, but be a nice guy that is very easily pushed around. And that's an ick. That's why I mentioned power. A powerful man is able to transform its environment according to its will. If you are a rich CEO or the president of a country, you have one of the highest power. But more simply, if you are smart and it shows, you seem more powerful. If you win a boxing match, if your social circle loves and respects you, or if you just wear a suit on a picture, that makes you look powerful. Those two there, power and confidence, are what make ugly men turn women on. So if you already maxed out your physical appearance and you're still not getting laid, work on those. And that's where you tell me, but wait, we're talking about sex here. I mean, I get that they want a confident man for security and feeling safe, but how is that turning them on in bed? Great question. Why is a dominant man, a powerful and confident man, turning a woman on? How does that work? Well, I have two explanations. First, sex experience. A woman will have sex with a bunch of dudes, and some of them will be more confident than others. Usually, more confidence correlates with more experience, and so the sex itself will feel better. And even if his technique is not great, if he's confident, that helps because it's less awkward. If the man hesitates too much during sex, then she must take the lead and it's an effort, so it's less pleasurable. Which brings up my second theory, low effort. When a woman meets a confident man, it's easy. The guy knows what to do and she just has to say yes and he takes care of everything. In bed or in life, by the way. And you know that very well yourself. When you go on holidays and you had that friend who took care of organizing everything, it felt good. Well, it's the same when a woman is with a dominant masculine man. She will transform into a feminine woman that will love how good you make her feel. The more experience she has with men, the more she looks for that low effort relationship where she's the princess and he's the strong, confident man. So, hot women, especially when they grow up, will be very responsive to strong and confident men, on average. Now, why don't men look for that too, right? After all, an experienced woman with confidence that knows what to do in bed, that's attractive, right? My theory is this: because men enjoy the feeling of control and power. Like, even if you're a nerd and you play Call of Duty or League of Legends, you enjoy the sensation of power and strength, so you have it in you. Some of you less than others, but it's there. Obviously, we also like when she initiates stuff, but if she doesn't, we will be still turned on and happy to take the lead, right? To put it this way, we would appreciate that she takes the lead sometimes, but we don't need it to excite us, as long as it seems she's enjoying it too, right? Okay, so she feels safe, check. And now she has sex with you, check. But is she in love? Not yet. There's one last part of the Trinity that you need to complete. The woman knows that if you date, it's supposed to be as long as possible. And that's why it's paramount that you bring fun into her life. Remember, Humans want safety, yes, they want their needs fulfilled, but then they get bored, so they want to prevent that boredom. And in a relationship, the choice of partner will be a crucial part of that. You don't want to get bored after 3 years of being together. Now, there's two levels there. The fun that you bring because of your personality and the fun you bring with lifestyle. You can be rich, have status, be famous, but if she doesn't enjoy your jokes, so she doesn't like spending time with you, then that makes you replaceable. There are a lot of decent looking men with money, but when she feels like you are her best friend, that's where she will fall in love. Everything is about that, the connection between you two. And by the way, that's the spark that they all talk about. It's the vibe. And remember how many people you actually vibed and became best friend with. It's not so common, right? And that's what I'm talking about here. If you can talk for hours and hours and never get bored with a woman, and if she feels the same, obviously, there is that spark I'm talking about. Now, if on top of that, you have a fun lifestyle, you have cool friends, friendly family, then that's even better. But the essential part is the connection between you two. With my girlfriend, for example, even if we just stay home, we never get bored. You could put the two of us in a prison and we would just never get bored. That's why we're in love. But of course, it's also because I provide sexual attraction and safety. So let's mention them all to summarize. You need to provide safety, sexual attraction, and fun. Or to put it differently, you need to be a husband, a lover, and a best friend at once. And something fun to do here is see what happens when you remove one of them. If you miss safety, for example, but she has sex with you and enjoys your company, then you're kind of a fuckboy, or you can be a sex friend. If you miss sexual attractiveness, but they have fun and they feel safe with you, well, then they friend zone you. And if you miss the fun part, well, then they will be with you by default, but they won't love you because you're not unique. You could be replaced as soon as they find someone with a greater connection. Now, at this stage, you probably think that you're far from that ideal. And I can understand that all of this seems super picky. What are the odds that you provide all of that, right? But here's the thing. You don't need to be perfect in all the three categories to have a loving girlfriend. In fact, many dudes are not. You must view that as an ideal, something to aim for. The closer you get there, the higher chances your relationship has to last. To give my example, I started at level 0 myself. Then I started being more fun. I was having more interesting conversations, so I was getting more attention. But I was still friend zoned. And later on, I had to work my physical appearance, which helped me getting laid sometimes, but still they were not calling me back. So then I had to be more confident. I had to improve my skills with them. And this is where I started to get sex friends. That was an improvement. But still, they didn't want to date me, like on a serious relationship. It's only later when I got a stable income, looked better, and became even more confident with women that I got a lot of options with women. But still, it took me 2 years before I met someone that I felt a strong connection with. But that's okay because you just need to find one. Was it long? Yes. But did I have fun all the meanwhile? Absolutely yes. So make sure that you enjoy that process there. Also, your own value is relative to the one of other men around her, as well as her own past experiences. If most dudes she met suck, you don't need to be James Bond to stand out. That's what should relieve some weight out of your shoulders. Now, let's play a little exercise. Take something to write the answers to those questions. First, do you have a stable financial situation? Are you taking care of your hygiene, of your hairstyle? Do your clothes fit? Do you have at least some muscles on your bone, or are you like a skeleton? Or the opposite, should you lose some weight? And are you confident when you talk to women? Are you taking the lead, or are you being passive? Are you fun to hang out with? Do you make people laugh, your friends maybe? Do you have free time and an interesting lifestyle? Do you have good friends, a good social circle? Do you hold the promises you make to people? Are you a faithful person? Now, look at your answers there, and then you should already see why you were not successful in the past. Then if you want to, you can send it to me and we can see how you can improve. Check the video description below to know how to send me a message. Lastly, I want you to think about how few people have that information and how that makes you part of an elite. There's so many potential great guys out there that will never know about this here and end up alone forever. If you could do what you must do, improve on your confidence, for example, or get a decent job, then you could become a gem. Someone that provides safety, sexual attraction, and fun. Because believe me, there's so many girls out there who are desperate to find someone like that. They douchebags by default because at least they are sexually attracted to them. But those guys end up hurting them, of course. Either because they cheat or because they're horrible people to live with. All they wait for is a guy like you to save them. So do them a favor and work on yourself. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.